Again. I don't want to stop. No.
And
wait, I know that I did it. I know that I started it. Ha! Okay.
when you wake up, you kind of wake up with a jolt as you are keeping the last watch, and you jolt awake right as you see Jacob like leaning over, getting ready to touch your shoulder. And as
I'm
you
kind of
wake up,
I'm trembling a
you're
little
kind
bit.
of hovering over you.
Yeah, I'm trembling.
They should like crack foreheads or something.
No, he's like standing and he's like leaning over, and his hand was out, and all of a sudden you wake up and you just see this figure, relatively silhouetted, just kind of hovering over you. And he goes, "You okay?"
I'll just
As he
take a second.
currently backs up, seeing your reactions, like didn't mean to startle you or anything.
Ragged breath. I'm like,
Does she make any noise when she wakes up?
Make a will save, which is like a wisdom saving throw.
wisdom. No, I think it's me.
Oh man.
You're asleep.
I know, but everybody else woke up when I was being a loud dreamer.
Wisdom. You were being.
This is to see if you made any sound.
I got a natural 20. Got that natural beauty in the morning, you know, just what a restful, unrestful.
The most thing that happened was you kind of convulsed and you right before you woke up. The rest of the time, just smiling in your sleep.
Okay, I was to Jacob. I'm gonna say I usually startle awake. On guard, you know how it is.
Right. You're gonna be okay?
I'll take my watch.
Get some more sleep.
All right. Yes. As soon as he lays down, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna like kind of go off just to the side just a little bit, and I'm gonna use the ring that Jasper gave me, and I'm still like shaking because I have like that adrenaline that I woke up with. I'm gonna kind of I guess I have to touch it a little bit to like
You just focus
think about it.
on it.
Yeah, I focus on it and I'm like, I'm sorry Jasper, I made a mistake. They saw me. I don't know what to do.
Okay, so that's one word under what you had available to you.
Whew.
I counted beforehand. Not really.
Well, you better count how many
You
words
hear
that was
this.
so you know for next time.
It's 25.
You hear his voice coming back through the line. I figured as much. I guess you decided to linger.
Just for a moment.
Not my first choice for your action. Keeps me on my toes. I was like,
I'm sorry.
that's all you say? You hear back. Don't be. They already had me suspected anyway. You have to be extra careful now. I don't know how much they saw. But it could be they know where you are right now.
I'll be extra careful. Stay safe on your end.
Always am. It could be that I have to pull some strings. Be safe.
Okay.
That's all you.
Okay, so he handled that.
That was 3 charges.
One of the 3?
No, that was all 3 charges from the ring.
Okay, that's
It had 3,
per
it's
day.
3 per long rest. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Hang on, I'm gonna make sure that I don't think I wrote that down the first time. Okay, ring, ring, ring.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Hang on. Oh gosh, Wyatt's gonna hear all this stuff and I didn't write down the ring. Okay. Each charge is 25 words, right?
Yes.
Okay. 3... 25 words. Okay. Perception. 16.
16? Everything is still eerily quiet. You don't... Lights down. Nothing seems to be too out of the ordinary. You go back, you continue your watch, unimpeded.
Okay. I'm still shaking. It takes me a while. Is there any tea left?
Zoom only took a little bit, so as you go kind of feel the kettle, it still has some left.
Okay, I'm just gonna get some, but my hand is still shaking as I'm trying to, like, take a drink. It was just such a jolt, and I'm like, So hang on, those were, this is Mackenzie asking, those were the Fae councils? You said they were both?
There was a mix of people who you knew were on the council in, like, of your family's council, and those, and the Archfey. The one, so there's a mixture of both.
Okay, did, I don't remember what I got for I got a 14, I think, for perception. So, did the voice sound familiar at all? I'm, like, reflecting on this as I'm, like, still watching around.
You didn't have a lot of direct dealings with the council. I mean, you were there, but you were also kind of young.
Yeah, because I was on
there for until relatively recently. So, the voice did sound familiar, but the overall transparency, the barrier itself kind of obscured some of the features. You have an idea of who it might be, but you're not 100% sure.
What's my idea?
You think it might be Turi Underthrow.
Get the right page. Turi, like T-U-R-R-Y?
No, just T-U-R-I. Turi.
Okay. Turi Underthrown?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, one more thing. Voice ending on council. And he was in the council, the Fae council or the Drow council?
He was on the Fae council. He was one of the Fae council.
Okay, gotcha. I'm good.
Yep.
Okay, I just watch the rest of the time. I'm gonna work. No, I'm just gonna watch. I'm not gonna do anything.
Right. The morning comes. The two suns are very cresting over the edge. It is early in the morning. There's a little bit of frost gathered on the ground. You wake up your cousin, as promised.
Yes, early.
And after a short period of time, you shake everyone else awake. They get up, still a little bit stiff. Wyatt is just kind of stretching over by himself in the corner as Jacob is preparing the horses. They had swapped the day before, where Jacob was the one who had gone and stretched out for the morning, and Wyatt took up care of the horses.
I take care of Warrior, my normal stuff. I give him a good brush down, and I brush out his tail because there's still some little bit of ice in it. Then I make sure he has clean water and food, and then I make another. I make some more tea, but I notice that I'm probably running a little bit low on the peppermint, on the mint, and so I make a note that if I see any today, that I need to get it, or in the next town.
You only make a mental note of it. You don't tell anybody.
Also, I want to say something to Zoom and Talel as well.
Okay. You approach them and kind of point it out, and Zoom, he is aware of peppermint, but he's not traveled this far north, so he's not really sure like where certain things are.
Okay.
Or at least like in your immediate vicinity. Like he's probably traveled this far, but it's been kind of like further off into the wildlands. Talal actually says, actually I'm familiar with a small growth of fresh mint. There's a creek probably a few miles up the road.
Okay. Well, when you see it, let us know and we'll stop for a minute.
Absolutely. How am I to do that? Do I try shouting?
Well, I mean, doesn't Wyatt ride next to them? Just let Wyatt know and we'll stop. Or I was going to walk again today, so I'll walk with you all. I'll walk. I'll walk with Zoom today, and then Wyatt and Jacob can ride up front with Nora and Warrior.
Alright, sounds like a good plan to me.
Okay.
We gives a nod, Zoom kind of gives a little thumbs up. Kind of points at you.
He's so fucking cute! God! Sorry. That was Sophia.
Sophia.
That was Sophia.
He actually helps you pack up Warrior. He lifts all of like the heavier saddlebags and helps adjust them and strap them down. And
Actually, I'm going to suggest, if he wants, he can ride with Nora, and if Talal feels comfortable, I'll ride on the disc with Talal, and then he can let me know when the creek is.
so, that, of course, I have no particular preference.
Okay. Is that okay with you?
Looks at,
You can ride with Zoom.
Zoom
Yeah.
kind of looks at Warrior, almost unsure, and Warrior gives him a little snort. There's a little bit of puff of morning mist from his powerful lungs. As he kind of looks at him, he's like,
I'm gonna give Warrior like a stern look. I'm gonna be like, be nice.
kind of roll. If a horse could roll its eyes, he kind of does.
And horses can roll their eyes. You'd be surprised. Like, well, they look more like scary. They'll get all like, "Rrr," but it's not really rolling of eyes. So,
Which is currently what Buttercup is doing.
Trying to bite. I imagine Buttercup just always in the background, like trying to bite someone. We're just having a calm, serious conversation. She's in the background, so
just like. Honestly, like I see Buttercup as Jester's like little weasel, like just always just kind of like. I'm just saying.
Duly noted. But Zoom kind of like reaches his hand out until it kind of like jumps on, trying to keep his balance, and you get a glimpse, and his wings do look a little bit better today. He's kind of been keeping up with the regiment, but like you can still see there are tears and stuff in it, but you know it looks a little bit better.
Okay. And then I'll reach out my hand to him.
He jumps on.
And then I have a cloak too, and I set them on my shoulder, and I'll put my hood up so that he can.
Okay.
I don't have a cloak, do I? With a hood?
Yeah. I mean, all of you all have like a traveling cloak.
Okay.
It might not be magical or anything, but yeah, you all have some kind of.
I'm gonna keep
Cloak of invisibility!
I'm gonna keep my hood up most of the whole day, basically, because and Nora's gonna be kind of out of it, like having trouble snapping.
Do I notice that she's out of it?
It's in character.
You can make an insight check because you see her kind of put up her hood. Who's gonna get a general feel?
Haha, 21. Let me see this uncomfortableness, please.
I mean, are you trying to disguise it, or you're just so out of it?
I'm just out of it.
Yeah, something seems to be bothering your cousin, just a little bit.
Okay. I mean, in your dreams, someone
She's not
says,
usually she's not chipper in the morning. She's not, always bubbly and happy and bouncing around. But something about, maybe she would have woken you if she saw something during her watch. So
Yeah.
She seems a little bit twitchier. Just a smidge twitchier than normal. Looking around, she has her hood up, which is kind of unlike her.
Okay. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna like take a note.
we're like secretly against each other, but secretly together.
Cause like I don't want to say anything in front of everybody and like make her uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. And we're also gonna be separated today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Okay.
Okay. You have to figure out how to sit on the disc. You watched how Zoom did it before, and
I mean, I'm
jump and it kind of
smaller than him, so like, I mean, I'm gonna definitely try to like stand on it and then like sit down into like a crisscross applesauce, like sit down and just like.
It's hovering 3 foot above the ground already, so you'd have to.
Oh, that's a step up. Goddamn.
Or you could just sit down and slide onto it.
Like, you know, like getting out of the pool at swim practice? Like you
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm gonna like lift myself up and like slide back. Oh, I can like see it though, right? Like it's not invisible.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was invisible.
I think it's like a contact lens.
Okay.
No, it's kind of like this liquid mercury color. It kind of has
Not like a contact.
Oh,
Not
okay.
like a mercury. I had the wrong.
Okay, that's fine. Now I'm just gonna like push myself up and like kind of like scoot back a little bit. I'm gonna have my notebook with me, like my wild herbs notebook that I like take notes in, because I might ask Talel some questions.
Oh, that sounds nice.
While we're traveling, because technically I don't have anything to do while I'm just sitting there, right? But I'm gonna be keeping like a little watchful, be like paying attention a little bit.
Just be doing all of it. Just everything you can think of.
Keep a good watch.
Yes.
You all disembark, kind of setting off. It takes Zoom a second to, as he kind of looks at Ward, he looks to you, Nora, kind of gestures like,
Like, do you want the front or the back?
The back.
The back? Alright. So, I just kind of like, I like rub Warrior from like, his brow all the way down his neck. And just like, and then from there I kind of hold on and jump up. Just like having.
So she would sit like, so like his wings are like kind of like partially down his back a little bit. So she would sit in front of his wings, but Zoom would have to sit behind his wings.
Or you could tuck his legs.
yeah.
But yeah. Okay.
You all sit and disembark. Traveling along, everybody just make a general perception check.
14.
Hold on. Perception. 17.
17. Okay, so 14 and 17 makes it okay. You all are traveling along. You do notice up ahead on the road there are a couple of wide-mouthed crocodiles. Just
How big are these crocodiles?
they probably 5 foot.
Not
They're by the
King
side of the road, and as they see you all approaching, as they see you all riding up, they dart off into the swamps.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought.
One of them doesn't, though. One of them just is staring at you guys, mouth wide open.
I mean, I'm behind you. I'm 30 feet behind y'all. So, what y'all gonna do? Because depending on what y'all do is what I'm gonna do.
I mean, I could talk to it if I wanted to, but I kind of don't want to talk to it.
Yeah, I was just...
I mean, it's not going to attack us in a group.
It might.
Well, it knows it wouldn't win because
It doesn't. It's an animal. It don't know nothing.
it's outnumbered. That's fine. We could just pass by on the other side of the road.
You all kind of edge over to the one side, heading off. It doesn't move, it just remains perched there on the edge of the road.
I'm gonna pull out my sword as we pass, just in case. And I'm just gonna like keep my eyes on it as we pass by it.
Nora, do you all have any specific conversations?
Um,
After about the first hour, the place where the mint is, Talal does indicate where that is.
okay. So I want to gather as much as I can. Let me think. Because I kind of like my tea, so. I'm going to get like 2 or 3 handfuls. And I'm going to put them in a pouch. And then when we get back to the disc, I'm going to like set out a handful and like to like dry. But I'm going to keep the other, like I'm going to wrap the other bits up in like bits of cloth to like keep them together and put them back in the pouch. And then I'm gonna lay the rest of it like kind of like out on the disc in front of us to like dry out a little bit.
Okay. Just gonna check something.
Technically, I could grow hay for warrior.
Might have to ask you to do that.
But
Do I see anything I can like? Do I see any like regular grass anywhere that I can like turn in? Like I can like dry out to be hay?
It's the swampland that would be
Hey, look, I was just asking. Cause there was some back in the other
No,
place.
I'm also throwing it out there as you glance about. Mostly, it is still like early winter, spring. You're lucky that you managed to find some of the herbs and flowers, the more hardier ones, that you were able to find. And actually, the spring that Talal kind of indicated where the fresh mint was, that area almost feels a little bit warmer. It seems to be like a better, sunnier patch, and that's probably why.
Are there any other herbs in this little spring area?
In this particular area, no. You see some more of the moss.
I'm-
That's about it.
I'm gonna get some more moss.
Gather up the moss. As you're on your way back, Talal actually kind of punches your neck a little bit to get your attention. He points over to one of the trees. He says, could I actually bother you in getting some of the bark from that tree?
Ooh, do I recognize this tree? Like this kind of tree?
You can go ahead and make a nature check.
Because there's a couple that I would know.
No.
Ooh, yes, yes. 19.
19?
Yeah.
This is elm.
Elm. Oh. Gonna have to put that in my I don't actually. Let me check my. Hold on. So I don't think that's on. I have elder. Let me see if it's in my book. Because if not, I'm gonna ask him about it so he can tell me a little bit about it.
you can also get a potion, poison potion.
Yes. Okay, I do not know about elm, so I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna be like, "What do you use this for?" As I pull out the dagger and I'm like chipping off some bark for him, and then I'm gonna take some too because I never know what he's about to tell me.
You take it, you kind of jab it in and kind of pull it off. He's like, it's the underside is the most valuable part, not the actual bark itself. And he kind of points to it's the piece in between the tree and the bark, that kind of fuzz on the inside of the bark.
Okay. What do you use it for?
It can help with coughs. It could help sore throats. From time to time, it helps with different internal infections, diseases. Helps with heartburn. Simple things.
You said it helps with burns? Is that what you said?
Internal burns, if you're not feeling well.
Okay. Oh, like indigestion.
Yes. Very similar.
Okay, well, I get some for him and then I take some as well, and I'm gonna say that I'm putting this in my saddle bag so that I'm not like all way down in my pack. I'm putting it in the saddle bag. And then I give him some.
You had to recast the disc anyway, so this is kind of a good breaking point, so you can put things in the satchel. Do you give some to him immediately?
Well, once we get back to the disc.
Okay. Once you get back, you kind of carve off a piece. Like, do you mind if I actually work on the disc for a time?
He wants to what?
Work on the disc.
Oh, yeah.
Put down onto the suit. You are okay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So he actually pulls out, he does have kind of like this little anything, but he has like some vials like outside pouches and stuff. And so he actually sits down and kind of begins kind of mixing. He kind of pulls out what looks almost like the top of an acorn shell and kind of begins like mulching things up and begins mixing things together and pouring different things.
So I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna be like, so what are you making?
This is something that'll hopefully help me in the future. Not that I think I'll need it or anything, but you never know.
What is it?
Kind of making. It's just something for people like me. He seems. Make an insight check.
Yeah, I wanna. Seems like he's making me more sus of him. 14.
14. You're not very familiar with sprites in internal biology or anything like that. I mean, maybe it's something's up.
I'm gonna be like, are you ill?
No. I mean, I feel a little ill, not knowing what's happening. I'm kind of not being around, others like me. It's still unnerving, but I'll get over it. And actually, you watch as he takes this thing, kind of adds a little bit of liquid to it. After he mixes it around, he actually puts it on his blade, puts it on his sword, and then just kind of dumps out the rest.
Oh, he dumps it out. Okay.
Well, it's not very much. It's just a small.
Yeah, it's just a little.
Okay.
So you wanted to know about poison. Sorry, I had to make sure I handled this. You said you wanted to know about poisons.
Yes.
He's kind of looking up at you. He kind of has to shout up to you a little bit.
I'm like, yes, absolutely. Do you want to teach me a poison?
All right. What all do you have?
What all do I have, Deanne?
Or do you just want to know about them in general?
I mean, like, I know about herbs, and I know I know how to use herbs individually. But I'm not I'm still learning how to make potions and make stuff with the herbs. I can make a decent compact and stuff, but nothing crazy.
If you have something like chamomile, you can actually use that to help put someone to sleep, help them relax, and possibly put them to sleep. And from there, you can have any number of things. And it begins kind of explaining this entire process of, sometimes you add different herbs together, and you have to know how they blend well. It kind of tells you about how to best go about collecting, the most you can from each plant.
Go ahead.
So the vast majority of your all's time, he's kind of explaining, if you massage the leaves, if you squeeze them, or if you cut them open and then try and gather what's on the inside, that's more beneficial than just crushing the entire plant.
Okay. I mean, I have, some notes like that, different parts to use and, how best to use them, what to turn them into to get, the most use out of them and stuff. So I know, little stuff like that. But it's mostly just, individual. I don't know how to,
Potions master it up.
Yes. I need Severus Snape as a potions teacher, please.
You all spend the rest of the day. And this is your all's third day of travel. It takes 3.5 days, so you all will arrive. The next day, is there anything else that you do this day?
Just during the day? Or at night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, during the
During the
day?
day, you all are...
No, I don't do much. I kind of fiddle with, the ring a little bit. Not enough to, invoke it, but just kind of, touching it a little bit. Unknowingly. Just touch it. And then, yeah, I don't work on Zoom's armor that day. I'm too distracted. Keep my hood up the whole time. Stay quiet.
You will settle in for your last night out, hopefully, in the wild, living yonder, wild great yonder in the swamps. You all set camp. Zoom again kind of helps find a spot and it helps clear everything from the area. Do you keep Talo with you? Because he.
I'll ask him. I'm like, do you want to stay with me or would you like to go back with Zoom?
It's whatever. I have no particular preference.
I mean, I don't really care, I guess. It is what it is. So I'm just like, well, if you want to change your scenery, just let me know.
You're certainly more conversational than our other friend.
I chuckle.
First time you've kind of seen her actually smile.
I'm gonna chuckle as well. I'm gonna be like, touche, touche.
You all bed down for the evening.
Who's getting what watch? I want the last watch. I'll roll for it.
I'm gonna take the first watch.
Okay.
You take the first watch, you take the last. Wyatt volunteers for the next watch after yours, and then Zoom kind of volunteers for the last, or the third one.
Okay.
You all eat. Any conversation had? What you do?
How about
I'm gonna talk to
you're
Jacob.
taking the? Oh no,
Talk to Jacob.
you're taking the first watch.
Yeah.
So just like a side note, since technically we haven't really been saying that we're like eating, so I still have 50 pounds of the crocodile meat. I'm gonna say that that I take some of that out and I cook it and I add some like herbs on there, just like a little bit, to spice it up a little bit, and then like I make dinner, I guess.
You all have been eating. I assume that's what you all have been eating.
Okay.
So not 50 pounds.
So not 50 pounds anymore. That's fine. I mean, totally fine if we don't have 50
Not quite
pounds.
50 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and
we've
if
been
you
talking for
if you don't finish it soon, it might start, tasting weird.
Okay, so how about we say 10 pounds a day, the last 2 nights, so that's 20 pounds. This is the third night, 30 pounds. And then I'm just going to cook the rest of it so that it's cooked, and then I'll just, like, pack it away.
Yeah.
In
And I mean, like, you all don't have, like, a lot of other vegetables or extra breads or anything else like that, so, I mean, this is kind of like your all's primary source of
Okay.
meat. So, yeah,
Okay.
you all bed down for the evening.
I'm going to, like,
Nora.
wait. Oh, is somebody talking? Shit, I have Talel with me. Never mind, I'm not going to talk to Nora. Fuck.
Okay. Yes.
You can ask him to leave.
Okay, I'm gonna like as I'm walking towards Zoom, I'm gonna be like, Talel, do you mind staying with Zoom for the night? I need to talk to my cousin for a few minutes.
No, I don't mind. I'd rather not jump.
Okay, I'm gonna like walk over to Zoom and I'm just gonna be like, would you mind Talel staying with you
He
again?
kind of not, like, hold out his arm. Instead of holding it out like this, he kind of holds it out like this. Until it kind of jumps on. And kind of runs up his arm. And grabs up under his hood. It's like, don't crush me again tonight.
I'm gonna chuckle a little bit. I'll be like,
You're gonna see Zoom like, like looking like he's apologetic again. He's like, I know you didn't mean it, but if you roll over, I don't get out of the way fast enough. It hurts.
I'm full chuckling as I walk away. Are you around anyone, Nora?
Doing it.
I mean, I'm by the camp. I'm just kind of, I guess, settling down to take first watch.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of like walk up to her, and I'm just gonna like sit down next to her. Are you sitting down or are you standing?
I'll probably be sitting.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of like sit down next to her, and I'm just gonna kind of like lean over a little bit and like whisper very softly and be like, "Are you feeling okay today?"
What are you doing? Oh, yes, I'm fine. I didn't sleep well last night. Got a lot of roots in my back. I got
Make an
some
insight check.
roots.
Natural 20.
Ah, okay.
Natural 20, 26. Give me that insight though.
Be sure to take a picture of that. She's telling you the truth. She didn't sleep well, but there might be something else. Possibly. You're not 100% sure, but I mean, she hasn't had trouble sleeping before, and whatever it was,
Yeah.
it might need some gentle teething, but it could be something maybe that she dreamed. Not that you would know anything about dreams.
I don't know nothing. Nothing.
Well, I'm just gonna lay a reassuring hand on her shoulder, and I'm just gonna whisper, if you ever need to talk about anything, I'm here for you. And then I'm just gonna get off, brush myself off, and I'm gonna go give Warrior a last little kiss. And make sure he's all tucked in. And I'm gonna refill his water a little bit.
He is.
And then I'm gonna
Okay, it's fine.
Pass the unconsciousness. Nora, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Yeah.
9.
9.
Oh, I cast alarm.
You're used to this evil side. Okay. Good to know.
Forgot to say that. I assume I cast it every night, but didn't say it.
You're used to the eerie silence. You're used to the quietness, the lack of insect noise, the lack of amphibious noise. And as you're sitting there about an hour and a half or so into your watch, you suddenly hear something.
I'm going to.
Probably.
Okay, I'm going to crouch. Instead of just kind of sitting down, I'm going to crouch and just kind of look
The
around.
fire's still going. It's barely illuminated at this point, as you have not said you fed the fire or anything. It's just kind of dimly lit. But you crouch down, look around. You hear
Big stomping. Okay, I'm going to
yes.
look around.
Maybe wake somebody up.
Make another perception check.
We have dark vision. We have good eyesight at nighttime. We should get the advantage.
15.
15. You peer around the tree and maybe probably around 80, 90 feet off in the shadows. You barely make out two large shapes. One of them looks humanoid. Walking. Looks like it has something slung over its shoulder. And you see something with 4 legs. Very large head. You can't make out colors, so dark vision does not allow you to see this, but you kind of see these mottled grays and blacks, and you can see as one figure's walking, just lumbering by. You see it stops. It stops. You look around. So you continue on, you hear a little.
Is the animal figure
Walking.
does it look like a
It seemed
crocodile?
like the animal was the one that groaned. As it looked over in your direction, you could see the glint. This kind of silvery glint as the moonlight just barely caught its eyes.
Was it like crocodile eyes? I should see if it's long, or if it's not long.
It was big, but it was more upright. It was taller than a crocodile. Not as long as one. And it seemed to have a very long, thin tail. And you watch the figures disappearing off to the west.
mean, if they pass by, I don't think I would do anything. What did the pouch look like that it was carrying?
It looked like a sack over its shoulder.
Okay, just a sack. Okay.
Carrying
You
dead
could
bodies.
pick out a lot of it was far, it was dark, and it just looked like it had some kind of large satchel slung over its shoulder as it was walking. And whatever was following behind kind of had this lumbering.
So, judging by its size, would it be like a giant?
No, not a giant. It was definitely tall. Probably, approaching 7 feet broad.
Orc?
Maybe an orc, yeah.
Yeah, but what kind of beast would he have falling around him? Hellhound?
No.
You're not awake.
I'm just discussing. I know nothing.
I do nothing, I know nothing. Be nothing.
I know absolutely nothing.
I know absolutely nothing.
Like, I want to know, but like, Nora wouldn't do anything. It's just like, okay, good, like they pass by. And you just move on.
After your watch comes to an end, nothing else catches your attention, you wake up quiet. He wakes up a little bit with a start and glances over and ruffles his hand through his hair, kind of reties it up, goes over, kind of sits by the fire, kind of pokes the embers, just kind of forget it.
I'm gonna tell
Goes
him.
and sits down.
I'm gonna tell him what I saw. Just be like, be on the lookout. I saw this earlier. It didn't see us.
What did it look like?
It was about 7 feet tall, and there were 2 of them.
Oh, that's great. So it didn't see us. And it just kept walking that way?
It just kept walking.
West.
West.
Great. I'll keep an eye out. He readjusts to kind of face that general direction.
Okay. I'm gonna go do night-night. Although, I'm gonna be really anxious before I go to bed. I'm like, I don't wanna dream tonight. Guilt. Okay.
You have a hard time falling asleep. But
Yeah.
eventually you do slip into unconsciousness. A dream does not come to you tonight.
Okay. That's good and bad.
Yeah, I was like, shit, that's bad.
You come to consciousness, and you are very familiar with the scene around. And you hear. Are you ready?
And I just nod. And I'm like,
Yes.
Verbal. She continues.
she's the one that told me not to speak without permission. I learned my lessons.
That's probably her confirmation.
What?
You think that was probably her confirmation. For future reference.
For future.
You go back to that same place and all of the trees once again unfold and weave and break themselves into that familiar arena. And she sits down. She looks at you. What do you want to work on tonight? I see you didn't try to practice what I was telling you before.
God, it's so hard to like remember everything because I want to like. What did she tell me? She told me to. Shit, I didn't write it down, did I?
Try to talk to Zoom.
Fuck! I totally forgot about that. Ah! No! Hold on, I need to make some more notes real quick.
She stares at you well.
And I'm gonna kind of look a little like disappointed in myself. I'm like, no, I was conversing with Talel today.
Too busy being suspicious of the little sprite, are we?
gonna kind of look like. I'm just gonna kind of like look away a little bit, and I'm just gonna be like, well, I was learning as well.
Well, you better be learning now. Come along, what do you want to know?
Can you tell me more about my mother and how you were with her?
Oh no, that was the wrong thing to
Your mother was
say.
a quick study
Oh,
and a good learner. She was able to harness herself. She was able to understand herself much quicker than you have ever been able to. She was able to grasp simple concepts and able to enact them within hours of us having our discussions. Is that what you wanted to know?
Yeah, kind of. Okay, what kind of abilities did she have?
I want to get some information from you.
She just long sigh.
I'm gonna take the disappointment.
Did your mother not have any conversation with you about your lineage, about who you are, what you are?
I'm gonna kind of look at her. I'm gonna be like, wouldn't you know? I'm gonna look at her and be like, you were with her all the time. Wouldn't you know that? I don't know anything.
I'm a little.
I only knew that my family was hated for being mixed breed. That was all I ever knew.
Were they? She gets up and begins pacing around you.
I don't have anything to say. I'm just gonna like watch her go around me in circles.
You hear that piercing voice in your mind again as she, unmoving her lips, still manages to convey thought. Like, you need to be able to concentrate. You need to be able to communicate. Even in silence. She's passing around you. Around you. Around you. You're able to do it well enough with your brother. Try thinking to me.
Try thinking what? Sorry.
She just says, try thinking to me.
Okay.
She sits, stares you in the eye.
I'm gonna sit down as well, and I'm gonna kind of like focus. And I'm gonna just try to like focus on her. And like, I don't know, I guess like I'm gonna close my eyes. And I'm just gonna like picture her like in my head. I don't know. I don't really know what else. And I'm gonna try to like say her name. Like I'm like in my mind. I feel like I'm projecting her name to her.
Make a wisdom saving.
22.
22. You begin thinking of the name Faye. Really focusing, concentrating on it. And as that thought kind of manifests itself, you feel it. You feel a spark. Something in the back of your head that you didn't realize was there. And you can just see there's this moment of, oh, that time. And you hear this in the back of your mind. And you hear Bay's thoughts once again. Try doing it again. Something more complex than a three-letter name.
Okay.
What do I want to say?
I want to be a bitch and be like 3-letter name, but I'm not gonna do that. She'd probably douse me in lightning.
4-letter.
40 points of damage. Okay.
I'm gonna turn on my light.
Okay. I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to like say to her. Okay.
Hurry up. We get up all night.
Oh God, I don't know what to say. Okay, I'm gonna ask her I'm gonna think about like a question that I have. In my mind, I'm thinking like, how is this going to help me in battle? Like, that's what I'm like, I want to like ask her that like via like, okay, like our little mind thing that we got trying going on over here.
Make another wisdom saving throw.
Unnatural 20.
Nice. You begin thinking this, trying to convey this complex thought. And again, you feel that quick little spark in the back of your mind. And you see her kind of straighten up and nod. She kind of crouches down lower, and she's like, as you hear it once again in your head, don't stealth. Being quiet is essential if you want to gather information, if you want to get a drop, if you want to sneak, if you want to surprise your enemies, or keep them unaware of where you are. But keep your allies appraised of the information essential to them. Tell me, if you were in some kind of corridor, if you were bunched up together, and you were the only person who was able to go out to be able to sneak around and gather information, don't you think that would be very convenient if you were able to convey all of this information back to whomever was back in your closet?
And I'm going to try to think it this time. I'm going to try to think. I don't want to nod. And I want to say, yes. It would be very convenient.
Make a wisdom, just a normal wisdom check, not a saving throw, just a check.
Oh no. 17?
17, that'll do.
I don't add, so you're saying don't add anything, right? 17.
Right.
Okay, 17.
As all of these things are kind of coming in, you say yes. She kind of looks impressed that you were able to interrupt her stream of thought coming into you, so you were able to kind of interject mentally. She said, then don't ask stupid questions about why this is important, and simply practice and learn. Perhaps not in battle, perhaps not in the heat of the moment, but still, this is a useful skill, one that your mother was able to master within a few hours. I can only hope you can muster it in a few days.
And then I want to convey another thought to her via myself. I want to say, can I use this on anyone or anything?
She kind of looks at you for a moment. When you say anything, you wish to convey your thoughts to a table.
No, I mean like anyone or like animal-wise. Like, can I do it to people and animals? Like creatures, like dark and light creatures. Or just like any creatures.
The intelligence of certain animals prevents them from having anything more than the base instincts to think. If you wish to be able to convey something to a moth, you probably wouldn't get very far.
Oh, that's just true. I was thinking more like a dragon or like an evil creature trying to eat me.
You would probably be able to convey certain elements that they could understand in language.
I have another question for her.
You notice now that it's becoming easier and easier. That shocking spark is dulling, and it's becoming easier and easier to utilize this.
Okay.
It's starting to hurt your head just a little bit.
Yeah, minor headache. It's what it is. I'll be fine.
I'm going to say, I'm going to convey, can people or creatures block me from their mind?
Anything can always block. Faye kind of looks to you like, well, thinking, conveying this in her mind. Any other interesting questions, or are we going to actually get on with some other training?
I'm going to convey to her mildly, sarcastically, no more questions. Just a little bit, because I can't help.
At this point, she stops for a second, sits up, looks up to the forest, Her eyes narrow. Shakes it off and looks back to you. She said,
If I look, am I gonna see anything?
you look and there's nothing. You only see black. You only see darkness. She says, there's malicious intent nearby.
Is it just?
Looks like we're going to have to expedite your training a little bit. You need to focus. Now, concentrate. Use everything you have.
Okay.
And you feel this electricity. You feel if you fail, she might actually blast you.
Oh God.
How do you focus?
Okay, how do I focus? Okay.
How do you focus?
Future. I need to focus on the future. I'm gonna focus on the future. I'm gonna some future fucking event that I don't know is gonna happen yet. Oh God. I'm going to envision myself saving people. I see myself like, I don't know, slaying monsters and saving people and just saving my brother from evil. I don't know.
No, it's flat.
That's flat? Oh, no.
I think so. Oh. I mean...
What am I doing? It's not all the way flat. I don't feel like it's flat, but it is. What am I doing it on?
Is it flat or is it cocked?
It's kind of cocked in my opinion.
It looks flat to me.
It has to be flat.
It wasn't flat. It was lean. I saw it when I moved it. This is probably going to be worse. What, am I just doing a throw?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom. What is the 4? Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. As you involuntarily stood whenever you saw her looking off in the distance, and all of a sudden you clasp your hands together and you begin trying to concentrate, and you feel that warmth beginning to grow in your chest, and you feel it once again spread from down your arms, through your body, through your legs, into your back. You feel it just radiating in your entire body. What do? You gotta keep it up. How do you do it?
Am I still, like, am I focusing on something, or am I, like, looking around?
It's whatever you're doing. What are you doing right now, in this moment? You feel this warmth cascading through your entire body. Every nerve feels like it's electrified, and yet on fire.
I want to make it, I want to, like, focus on that heat, and I want to, like, try to, like, grow that heat, like, make it hotter. I want to make more heat. More heat.
You are using your willpower. Make a charisma saving throw as you begin concentrating. You are using your force of will to try to perpetuate this.
8.
Looks leaning to me.
That looks leaning to me.
Is it though?
It's in the middle of the board.
You begin focusing and concentrating, but your willpower, as you begin trying to intensify this heat, it's beginning to burn. It's this searing, white, hot energy. You're having a hard time maintaining it, so you got 1 and 1.
Okay.
How do you maintain it?
I remember how earlier Bay said that my mother was always great at everything, and so I focused on, like, remembering her always being, like, the best thing that I ever saw. Like, she was always, like, the strongest. She was always, like, the best at everything. And I'm gonna, like, focus on that, and hopefully this dice is feeling my willpower, because...
Okay. Since you're reflecting, since you're kind of doing this insight, it's a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom. 19.
19. You begin concentrating. You're starting to push through that heat. It's incredibly hot, and all of a sudden, your limbs start to get cold. And you're wondering for a moment, are you losing it? And you feel that short panic before you realize it's not just it's leaving your arms, because it's heating up your back.
Okay.
Because now there's this searing hot light along your back.
Yes.
What do you do? How do you maintain it?
Fuck! I don't know. I'm
All of a
going...
sudden you realize the white hot energy is just... You are at a tipping point. How do you press forward?
A tipping point. How do I press forward on a tipping point when I'm thinking about tipping one way or the other, evil and bad? I need to think about something good. I need to think about... I'm gonna think about Zoom and how I felt when I stepped into that ring with him, and all I wanted to do was protect him.
Won't let it happen again.
No! I don't know. Okay, that was like total. I just dropped the dice because I was like shaking. Okay, that's leaning. That is leaning. It's leaning. I'm just. It's even bits worse.
Make a wisdom saving throw right now. Make a wisdom saving throw. That's what it is. 8.
Zoom's not doing it for me. That's not happening ever again.
You're starting to. As this is just, you are once again at that tipping point. As you're focusing, as you're concentrating, you hear Bay say, "Focus."
I want to help. I have an idea, but I can't help you.
I'm gonna start bringing Nora into my dreams. Please help me.
I want to help.
Oh my god, I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything that I would.
All of these things are just building up inside of you. Are once again, you are at that tipping point.
I can't. That has to be your character growth.
Okay. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm like feeling all of this. I'm going to like take a deep breath and I'm going to try to like focus on myself, and I'm going to think of all the hard work that I've put in to get this far. And I just want to will myself. I just want to continue to get better so that I can be the best that I can. I want to also, side note, I'm thinking of Malik and how I love it when he is like proud of me, and like I want to make him proud. What do I do?
You're making a charisma saving throw as you are trying to will this thing into existence. Whatever is happening, you're trying to will yourself into existence.
I'm not willing shit anywhere, so.
What is it?
8. It's an 8.
You're right there at that cusp.
You can try other things.
I don't know what else to try. I don't know. It's too much to think about in the moment.
Do you remember whenever Orochimaru, he froze Sasuke and Sakura and he was going to kill them? He showed them how they were going to die, and then they were frozen in fear. What did Sasuke do to wake himself up? Make himself focus?
I don't remember that part at all.
Chunin exams 1. What did he do?
Didn't he stab himself? I thought that was Naruto.
Doesn't that help him focus?
Oh, pain.
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 You're right there you're at that lip. You're starting to feel like you're losing it. What do you do to cling on to it?
Which one?
I'm gonna grab my dagger.
Hang on.
I have my dagger.
Is it Dex or would it be Constitution? That would be Constitution.
Shit, that's only a +3. I need
What's your
dexterity.
highest?
Dexterity, intelligence, and wisdom.
Intelligence and wisdom.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Talavin? You're starting to lose it.
Okay, fuck it. I'm taking this dagger that is like something my mother gave me, and I'm plunging that shit straight into my thigh. Like I need to focus on something. Like, bam.
Jam it into your side. Make a Constitution saving throw.
18.
That's pretty epic.
You're dragging yourself back.
Till I wake up and I'm bleeding out.
There's the pain in your chest, and now there's a pain searing in your leg. You feel this, and actually, as you look down, your hand starts to shake because your blood isn't red. As it gushes out of your leg, it is this silvery mist that is just pouring out of your leg.
Well, that's good to know.
You're right there at the cusp.
Still at the cusp?
Okay, still at the cusp, because it's like 2 and 2 right now. Okay,
The people around you imagine the people around you are dying. Imagine the people around you are suffering. You are the only thing that stands between them and death. How do you save them?
by becoming stronger. I need to be stronger.
Mind over matter.
Mind over matter.
Your intelligence is high.
I know my intelligence is high, but but in real life it's actually a 14.
What do you do? You're right there. You're right there at the cusp. You are feeling it. You feel the energy just pulsing at your back, waiting for that last moment, that last trigger.
Okay. I'm gonna honestly, I'm just gonna twist that blade a little bit because I'm gonna twist it.
Oh.
And I'm just gonna kind of like press it a little bit harder into my thigh. And I'm just gonna like think about all the emotional and like mental and physical like pain and suffering that I've like had over the years since like my parents have died, and then the pain and suffering that I went through with losing my brother. And how I don't want that to happen to other people.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
God, I am begging you.
That was really, really good. Hang on.
Natural 20! Natural 20! Natural 20! Yes! Plus 4 is a 24. Natural 20.
Good job. You just pour your strength into twisting this blade in your leg. You begin reflecting on all of the pain, all of the suffering, and you're like, I can't let that happen to anyone else.
So epic.
I can't suffer myself any further if I let something like this happen.
Yes, yes.
And you feel the light fade. And you feel the warmth draining.
Small panic. I thought I was doing good. Small panicking inside. Not showing it on my face, but inside, straight panicking.
When are they closed?
I think my eyes were open.
Yeah, because you were looking.
Yeah, because I stood up when Bae looked away, and so I was looking, and then she like told me to focus, and I was like, focusing! So my eyes are open. So she can probably see the panic in my eyes. I'm like, no. I do not want to get blasted with lightning.
You watch as this electricity just cascading off of her body.
I'm tense.
As she rises up, she stomps her foot, and in that moment, you feel this searing electric energy pulse in from your back, exactly in these little V sections right along your shoulders. You want to double over in pain, but your body is seizing without your control. You think for a moment that it's because of her and that she's punishing you for something that you've done or that you did do. You're not sure. She's kind of hard to read.
It's just kind of hard to read.
She's kind of hard to read. But in that moment, you feel something burst from your back. You feel this ripping and tearing, and you involuntarily drop the blade in your hand and you let out this guttural scream. As this is a pain you've never experienced before.
Oh.
And you hear this, and you feel the rush of wind right by your face. It tussles your hair. And then you hear something, not in front of you, but behind you.
I'm gonna slowly look over my shoulder.
You blink your eyes, and you glance from side to side, and emerging from your back, from your shoulders, are these two magnificent, stormy gray, fading into white wings.
Ooh, that's nice.
And along the base are these tiny little electric.
That's so cool. She rolled me with this. Thank you.
And you take a second, and as you move your shoulders, they come in. You think again, you can raise your shoulders as they.
I wanna fly.
This is something your mother could never do.
I'm gonna be like a little bit smidgen sad, but then I'm like super happy. I'm like, I made me proud.
Bae comes over to your side. It's a weird sensation feeling this ethereal tongue lick your leg.
I'm gonna accept it, honestly. Like, I'm just gonna be like, oh.
Your entire body is trembling, kind of shaking, and your wound heals. And you can see now as you glance from side to side, it looks like electricity is searing into your back, and right at the contact point is where these things are emerging from.
It's so cool.
You were a caterpillar and now you're a beautiful butterfly.
And you take a second. What do you do?
I want to see if I can like I can like move them.
Yeah, as you're thinking, and you just kind of like roll your shoulders. They.
I want to reach out and touch it.
It's toxic.
I just want to like.
Out. Just kind of brushing either side simultaneously, and you feel this tingling in the back of your head, nerves that you didn't even know were there. Your hands brush against them, and the shiver just runs down your spine as you feel it connect to every part of you.
Oh my.
So
And they're soft.
Do they feel like warriors' wings? Like would they remind me of like?
His wings are coarse.
Okay.
These are soft, impossibly lovely.
I can only imagine they're so big.
Yeah, stroke them again. You feel that shiver go down your spine.
Okay, I want to try to like. I'm already like, bro, I want to fly. Even though you should walk before you run, but like I want to fly. So like I want to like see if I can like just like get off the ground just a little bit, just so that like my feet aren't off the ground, or like are off the ground.
All right, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
A strength saving throw. 18.
18. You take a second, and Bay at this point has kind of gone back to about 20 feet away, and in that moment it comes naturally to you.
I'm so
And you begin
jealous.
focusing, and in one quick leap, and you're suspended in air. And it is a little bit shaky at first, but you manage to compensate. And now you're hovering about 3 feet off of the ground. In these big sweeping motions.
I'm so cool, finally.
I'm finally cool.
You've reached enlightenment
In
of
your
coolness.
dreams!
Enlightenment! And I'm gonna like convey to Bay. I'm not gonna talk. I'm gonna convey. I'm gonna be like, ooh, I'm gonna be like, what I had the question in my head and then I forgot it because I was too distracted with how cool my wings were. I'm gonna ask her, I'm like, what is this? Or like, how did I acquire these? Like my parents didn't have this.
Your parents are not you.
Okay,
This is
thanks.
actually something not acquired from your mother's bloodline, so I am not as familiar with it. But, as I said before, there's a reason Malik took interest in you.
I'm gonna kind of grin a little bit. I'm like, oh, Malik took an interest in me. But not really. I'm just gonna, yeah. I want to try to go up just like a little bit higher and then like go back down and land.
Now, there's still a relative canopy of trees.
Okay, well then I'm just gonna like,
As high as you can, and then kind of glide back down. You touch your shoulders. Oh, they ache.
oh, there's a little bit of pain. It's okay. It's worth it.
I'm going to look at them from side to side. She says, time's up. I hope you actually learned something today.
I hope
And
so.
you begin fading back into darkness, begin pulled from this area. And as you do watch them
No!
No! I should have asked her how to recall them.
vanish.
I think you can do it
Did you wake up?
Okay. Oh, I guess Zoom wakes me, or was it Zoom or what? It was Zoom. Had third watch. I have last watch.
Yeah, Zoom had third watch.
Okay.
Zoom comes over and he's looking at you kind of concerned as he kind of gently shakes you awake.
I'm gonna like kind of get up, and I'm gonna have like a little bit of a grin on my face. A little bit of a grin. I'm gonna be like, not really. I'm just gonna kind of like wake up, and I'm just gonna be a little bit happy. I'm gonna seem happy.
He nods and he goes,
Get some good sleep. Yep, me too. It was good sleep.
he coughs. Make a wisdom check.
Okay, he has a cough now, so now I'm worried. A what check?
Wisdom.
Actually, this would be intelligence.
Intelligence.
Just an intelligence check.
Well, it's the same. 12.
You still feel that spark in the back of your mind when you wake up.
You
still feel that ache in your shoulders. Even though there's nothing there. But there's that little spark. Were you communicating with Faye?
Okay. I'm not gonna like try to like jump zoom while he's tired, so I'm gonna wait for later to do that.
He goes over to the fire, kind of inchworms over. And actually, you can see whenever he got up, he actually puts Hallel kind of on the ground closest to the fire. And he's kind of bundled up in Zoom's scarf, asleep.
Okay, that's adorable.
Is the fire, what is the fire? Is it looking alright? Like,
It's low.
I'm gonna-
It's like he put one log on it, but then it looks like it was dragged back out.
interesting.
As Zoom, he rolls back over and he goes,
Any points in the west direction? Okay.
I want to talk to him now.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm actually going to try to talk to him. And I'm going to kind of like wave him. I'm going to say, wait. Well, I guess I can talk to him. I don't know why I'm trying to not talk to him. I'm going to be like, hey, let me try something. And I'm going to try to focus. And I'm going to try to ask him, like, did you see anything?
He ruffles his hair as he's nodding and
Oh. He's so cute. Oh my god.
he sees little tusks.
Oh, his little tusks.
Rubs his face.
I'm going to be like, let me...
It's just ruffling his hair. He's kind of scratching a little bit.
I'm going to try to ask him, convey to him, like, did you see anything on watch?
In his mind.
And like, I'm like conveying it to him.
It's the strangest sensation. But as you do that, he doesn't realize you didn't move your mouth. And you hear in the back of your head just kind of this slight burst as you make that telekinetic connection of, how am I going to convey this to her? I'm going to have to think about it. He rubs his fingers together.
And I'm kind of chuckling to myself a little bit because I'm realizing that he's not realizing that I did that.
He kind of looks and you hear what I'm laughing about. I can't talk.
And then as he says, I can't talk, I'm going to convey to him, but you can speak to me through your mind now.
His hand actually like kind of crashes and catches the edge of the scarf as he goes back. All of a sudden you're his hand caught the scarf and kind of flung it off to the side until I was tumbling.
I'm going to like step...
Back to the fire.
I'm going to step... Is he like, did he fall?
What?
Did he fall over?
He wasn't standing. He was sitting down. He was sitting down like on his cot, like getting ready, and that's whenever he sat back up. So he's on the ground already. He backed up, and you hear him think like, "Have you been able to hear me this whole time?"
Oh no! And I'm gonna say, no. Oh
You
shit.
see him like actually putting a hand over his mouth. He wavers for a second.
I'm gonna kind of look sheepish. I'm gonna be like, maybe. I wish I'd have known what he was thinking. No.
Kind of collapses, and you see, you can tell Lil at this point he manages to kind of untangle himself from the scarf. He's like, "I told you need to be careful." It's like, oh goodness! And you can see he actually accidentally cut his side with his dagger. He was tossed up from the side.
His poisonous dagger?
His poisonous dagger? I'm gonna like, do I see that he cut himself?
You see him kind of look down beside us.
I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say out loud, I'm like, are you okay?
I'll be alright. I nicked myself. It'll be alright.
I mean, he does know like how to make it, so he
You
finds
see him
it.
cleaning his blade and then taking a little bit more of the solution which he had put in a small vial and kind of reapplying it to the dagger and resheathing it.
Okay.
It's more inconvenient than anything Zoom. We had a discussion about this. And he looks over and goes,
And I'm just gonna chuckle. I'm just gonna like.
You're awful.
It's so funny though. And then I'm gonna kind of like laugh out loud a little bit.
like hyperventilating. He's just trying to think like, what on earth is this chick?
And I don't know what to, like. I guess I can convey this to
Tala
them.
looks like, what on earth is going on? He's going to wake the entire can.
And I'm gonna.
Walks back up onto the bedroll, still holding his side.
And I'm just gonna say, I learned a new trick. And I was trying it out on Zoom, and it may or may not have surprised him a little.
That sounds really bad.
A new trick. In the middle of the night.
Well, it's my watch. You needed to tell me something, and
Some cruel pranks pulled on me in the past. Don't get me wrong, but this is unusual. Getting someone without sleeping like this. It's like, Zoom, just don't be careful. He kind of goes over and kind of sits. He's like, I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep. Kind of rubs his eyes. Zoom, it looks like he's like trying to say sorry, but then he looks at you and he's like,
Is the connection broken?
yeah, like, is he like saying anything in my head?
the overall interaction kind of broke the connection. You kind of have to like You're still learning about this connection, so you have to reestablish it.
Okay. After he like settles down for a minute, I'm gonna be like, and I'm gonna convey to him, was there something you wanted to try to tell me?
What on earth are you doing?
I'm gonna be like, I'm magic.
Moving. My mouth isn't moving. What is going on?
I'm gonna tell him, I'll be like, I'm magic.
Right. Magic. Magic. Right. Uh-huh. Right. Right. Can he hear me too?
I'm gonna shake my head. I'm like, no, he can't hear you.
Usually it was like, it looks like he tries to think of Talal, who's just kind of rubbing his eyes and kind of like still rubbing the spot on his side. It looks like he's like trying to like bandage his side. He's like, it's not working on him.
I told you, I'm the one that's magic.